Most people assume that transportation and the generation of electrical power are the main sources of CO2 emissions. But in advanced countries like the US, for example, transport accounts for only a third of CO2 output. Surprisingly, it's buildings that are the main culprit, producing almost half of all emissions.
The way I think about it is that we have two major existential problems to solve as architects, as builders of shelter. One is the fact that what we build has an enormous carbon footprint. The making of it has a carbon footprint. The operating of it has a huge carbon footprint. The next problem is the world has roughly 7 billion people. 3 billion people are expected by UN Habitat to need a new affordable place to live in the next 20 years. We're going to be building a lot of buildings. If we build them the way we have been building them, we're on a collision course.
Could something as simple and familiar as wood help us address the linked challenges of urbanization and climate change?
Wood is the only material I can build with that stores carbon and stores it in the building for as long as I keep that building from burning or keep that building from rotting. It's, I think, the most sophisticated building material known on Earth to build big buildings. And the difference is, its sophistication is it's not man-made, it's naturally made. It's designed by nature, it grows by the power of the sun. It's the purest form of solar energy to make through photosynthesis an organism that, a tree as it grows, that's giving off that oxygen and soaking up the carbon dioxide. And in turn, as designers and architects, we now understand the strength of that material with either in its raw state, just a tree, or in engineering it and gluing it together. It can be profoundly strong and it can do things we are only beginning to realize. And the climate has to be solved by building professionals, architects, engineers, planners, contractors, developers. We are the industry, I believe, most responsible for the largest quantity of physical things on Earth. So climate has to be addressed, and it means changing at a systemic level across the board how we think of the future of building.